What is good, everybody? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with my Super Quant deck profile. I'm coming freshly back from locals, so it's all like right in my head, right? So I have chat here that's going to be able to help remind me, hopefully, if it comes up. So we ended up going to locals. We went 2-2. We ended up playing against round 1 was, oh gosh, I already forgot round 1. What was round 1, chat? For the life of me, I cannot remember. Chat will remind me. Round 2 was Sky Striker. Round 3 was Shadal, Dogmatica, and Vote. And round 3 was The Buy. Round 1, I can't remember it. We'll figure out here in a little bit. But if you guys remember, if you guys want to help support the channel, check out the links down in the description below. If you guys missed the live stream, hit that notification bell so that you guys will have the ability not to miss them. And also, if you did miss the live stream, all live streams are uploaded to Patreon. So go ahead and check down the link down in the description below. Head on over to Patreon, become part of the family, get access to the live streams and some other content. But let's just jump into the profile and move on forward. So it's a 40 card list. I'm missing technically 1 emergency teleport, and in the extra deck I'm missing Zeus and a Clop. So we kind of went to those locals missing some things. There's a few times that like Zeus would have come up, but it didn't like make that much of an impact. For the most part, our losses were just straight sacking. Like chat can vouch for it. We just got sacked. Like I drew pebbles, they drew mountains. That's how good my opponent was drawing and top decking and stuff comparative to me. They were drawing like Nadir Servants while I was drawing my second or third Pot of Desires. So, Medolce, there we go. Round 1 was Medolce. That deck is kind of crazy. A little bit lack of experience with that deck too played into getting clapped by that. But yeah, so moving on, we'll go ahead and go through the cards here. We're playing triple White Ranger. White Ranger is phenomenal. This card is amazing. So you can send any Ranger except for a light attribute from your hand or face it from the field to summon it. And then on summon it, Foolish Burials. And then it becomes the level and attribute of what you send. So it practically allows you to become any one of the Rangers, so you can XYZ on top of it using the field spell. But most importantly, it's an additional starter to get us to the Rabbit. And the Rabbit is just, you resolve the Rabbit, you have like a 60-40 chance if you resolve the Rabbit to put up Magnus or put up some sort of board, whatever you want to kind of construct if you can. Moving on, triple Red Layer, finally. Red Layer that's not in a Infernoble deck profile. This card is even better. It's better in its own actual deck. It floats. It summons back from grave. It's pretty good. Not really much can be said. You guys know Red Layer special add back. The recursion is pretty good because you need the hand advantage to discard to be able to XYZ on top using the field spell. Triple Green Ranger. Green Ranger here is pretty decent. On normal summon or special summon, you can just special a Super Quant from your hand. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, you pitch a Super Quant and draw a card. So you will end up drawing, like that comes up quite a bit. You play so many Super Quant names and so many like extra deck cards. You can just pitch and draw. To hopefully draw into like your side deck cards and stuff like that. Moving on, we are rocking triple blue. E-Telly is back at 3. So like you want to play 2 E-Telly, but I don't have my second one yet. Darn UPS. But anyway, 3 blue. Blue is really good because it's your Rhoda of the entire deck. And then on top of that, blue just recycles. This card should have let you draw one. It really should have. Like the ability that the deck is playing from the hand, right? You're discarding cards from your hand over and over to like kind of XYZ. This should have been like draw 1. Shuffle 3 back, draw 1. But I don't know what Konami was thinking when they made this card. They thought it might be too busted, but clearly it's not. Now for like the best card in the deck, if you ask me. 3 Rabbit. Rabbit here is phenomenal. You practically send this card for cost. You reveal 3 Super Quants with different names. 1 is randomly chosen to be special summoned. The other 2 go to graveyard. So you're technically like resolving like up to 3 or 4 effects in one turn, which is pretty crazy. So like if you reveal white, green, and red, and if you like white gets summoned, white's effect will activate on a separate chain. Did Foolish Burial, green will summon back, or excuse me, red will summon back green, green will let you pitch and draw. A huge chain link start constructing. That's kind of why I figured this deck would be semi-decent, simply because everything floats in some form of aspect, but just when your opponent just sacks you, it doesn't matter what you float. We all don't float down here. 3 Alphen. I am not playing 1-for-1 because like this deck already plays from the hand. So like I felt like going 1-for-1, pitching, getting ashed, you just lost so much hand advantage. At least with Alphen, if I normal Alphen and send it and then they ash my Alphen, I still have 4 cards in hand to work with. Whereas 1-for-1, just like they're going to ash 1-for-1 guys. Like you go 1-for-1 pitch, you're down 3 cards, To the dangers, 1 Such, 1 Nessie, and 1 Jackalope. I will probably move. There's a few different engines I want to try in the deck, like a Performance engine and also a heavier danger engine. Since Nessie's at 2, I didn't think that Nessie being at 2 would make me want to play it more just because I thought like 1-1-1 was a good ratio. But I do like the pitching for Nessie because you pitch Nessie, add another danger. So like it allows you to refresh that hand or get that hand advantage so you can keep on pitching to eventually get to Magnus. For hand traps, triple Ash Blossom. Not much more can be said. Ash is Ash. 1 Artifact Scythe. Scythe here is extremely important because the deck needs a win condition, and you can't just like, you're not like Ignisters, you don't have like one card at arrival. You are not guaranteed to make Magnus because Alphen is up to chance. So you need to have like a backup so that you're able to win. So this is like the backup plan. If you can't get to Magnus, you can end up making like Dagda with Grand Pulse, and then Grand Pulse effect to pop the Scythe, and then Scythe lock your opponent for a turn. And then you just proceed to like win there. I'm moving on to the spells. This card is Super Quantal Mech Ship Magna Carrier. This card is insane. You just discard a card, target a Super Quant, slap an XYZ with the same attribute on top of it, and then you can send this card for a cost to be able to summon or target Super Quantal Mech Beasts on your field or graveyard, summon them that are in the graveyard, and make Magnus. That's probably what this card does. This card makes Magnus, which is insane. Terraforming, because you want to be able to see the field spell without using your blue search. The testing card of the hour is Drag Down to the Grave. So in theory, the deck has 0 ways to play through hand traps or stop Nibiru. So Drag Down was the way to look at the opponent's hand and like rip cards, and you didn't really care what they ripped from your hand, especially since most of the Super Quants here float. So as long as you resolve Rabbit, that was okay. And there was only one time in the entire duel where I ended up going Drag Down, pitched a card, the guy topped or drew into Imperm, and they like smacked me with Imperm. But for that reason, like that was kind of enough reason alone for me not to want to play this. But the deck just has 0, like you get nibbed, it's over. So like the deck just has 0 ways to play through nibbed. So that was kind of like my thought process with this card. It could definitely be like, it could definitely be 3 More Dangers or the Perform Mage package, which are self-replacing special summons, of course. Triple Desires, you play 3 of everything. You got to play 3. You need the draw. You need that +1 to be able to keep on trucking. 1 Emergency Teleport, should be 2, but haven't got mine yet. Blue is a Psychic, so you can just beam out blue, start your combos going that way. Called by, everybody else saw it today and sacked me with it. I didn't get to see it once. I saw it once, excuse me, against Sky Striker, and I ended up called by in the Ray. But everyone else saw it. Like I think I've seen like 3 call bys throughout my 4-round tournament. 1 Foolish. Foolish is in here because it's also a starter, because it's technically your 5th copy of Rabbit, because you Foolish in the white grabs you Rabbit, and then you just combo off from there. Monster Reborn in Succession. These cards are just extenders. Not much more can be said. It feels good reborning or successioning back like Red Layer after it's been dumped with the Rabbit. So then you get to add back off a red, which is pretty cool. And then for the final traps, 3 Infinite Impermanence. I like this card, then I don't like this card. It's I don't think I saw it enough today, but this is like, you technically play 6 hand traps because you want to have the ability to interact with your opponent. Despite this deck seeming like it's a combo deck, it's really more mid-range, simply because like your combos aren't like through the roof. It's very self-contained in the Quantal lines. The most extravagant things you can really do is like maybe hard make an Apollosa, or you can just do the Dagda combo, which you guys haven't already checked it out. Check out my test hand video, which shows the Dagda combo. But I resolved Dagda. I think I resolved that twice. It was pretty detrimental, but then like again, like my opponent's top decks were just so far more superior than mine that it didn't matter. But that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. Like I said, what I would probably change would just be drag downs maybe. Still need more testing with these, but drag downs could be more dangers. Drag downs could be the Perform Agent package. And then probably, be honest with you, I'd probably move out of hand traps maybe. Maybe keep in the Imperms, because Imperm is a card that, is just very versatile in what it does. And side out the Ashes and maybe play more extenders, But anyway, moving on to the extra deck here. We are rocking 2 Magna Liger. A Magna Liger here is my favorite of the Super Quants. He's a lion, but also a tiger. All the Super Quants have the same effect to go ahead and just get it out of the way. If they have the correct ranger under them, they're quick effects. And then once per turn, they can equip a ranger from hand or field to them, which is really cool. But red is Trident. Luster Rex here is a Walking Impermanence. This card had a lot of potential. I said it earlier in my live stream that if this card should just been able to negate monster effects, period. It shouldn't have been target 1 face-up monster negates effects. It should have just been monster effects in period. And then this deck would be significantly better. You would just be able to you'd play way more dangers than what we're playing now for sure, because you could hard make Luster Rex and then like you're protected from Ash before you resolve Alphen and stuff like that. And then 1 Ouroboros and 1 Grand Pulse. Ouroboros is the Book of Moon, and then Grand Pulse, of course, is spell and trap removal. I thought about playing Gamma. It's another option I've thought about, but the problem I had with playing Gamma is I couldn't justify, because you have to see Gamma with Alphen, But then arguably, like in that same argument, you would also, your goal is to see Alphen as soon as possible, but you're not always going to have just Alphen out there, if that makes sense. Or you might have like blue layer because you have to go, or white layer out there to search out for the Alphen. That's where like probably the Diviner package would be better, but like if your opponent is like holding for Alphen and they stop the Diviner, you know, you're still just kind of in the same pickle, sort of say. And then finally, the King himself, this card is phenomenal. If it has 6 or more material, it's a walking mistake. If it has 4 or more material, it's unaffected by card effects. 2 or more, it's a quick effect, non-targeting shuffle. Practically, if you get this guy out, he is very hard to out. But I have found when testing, like, even though he is hard, he's not impossible. You just got to, like, once he's established, you just got to be very conservative with him. Like I said, this isn't a combo deck. This is a control deck. So, like, once Magnus touches down, it's simple. You just hold the ground, hold the fort, hold the line with Magnus, and just kind of only use Magnus when they're potentially getting to a way to out Magnus. And then 1 Dweller. I never made Dweller. It's probably, you should only play it because the option can come up with the green layers to be able to make it. But like you should probably, you don't have to play Dweller. And then of course they should be a Zeus here because that opportunity to make a Zeus comes up a lot. And I've noticed that throughout my testing. Like even if I would have made Zeus in like a few matches up, and even if they was going to negate it or they had the ability to like get rid of the Zeus, at least I solve a field versus not solving anything. For links, 1 Link Kribo. That's Link Kribo is just in here in case you open like Alphen plus like Monster Reborn World Legacy Succession. They in-perm the Alphen. You just quickly turn Alphen into Link Kribo and then Monster Reborn or Succession it back. Use Alphen's effect, which happened during my round 1. Believe it or not. IP Masquerena. I mean, you just like the deck inherently, like you practically got a Link 3. If you have red layer out, red layer plus something is automatically like a Link 3. So Masquerena is just good to be able to go into the Link 3 Super Quant. However, I did notice that I wasn't playing Unicorn, and I kind of wish I did. It's just like you play from the hand, so like you're trying not to discard as much as possible, but having like Masquerena be able to tag into a Unicorn for some form of disruption was better than nothing. Dagda is definitely the main win condition or the main combo line you go to end up sealing the deal in a way. You want to go Dagda, use the field spell, chain Dagda, set Scythe, make Grand Pulse, pass to your opponent. This card, Neo Super Quantal Mech King Blaster Magna, this card is actually pretty good. Not what the deck needed for sure. The deck needed something a little bit less resource heavy, but it does its job. This card practically says that it can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can, every time you XYZ under a zone to like a link zone it points to, you draw a card. And then if some Super Quantum Mecha Beast is in like the link zones, is destroyed by an opponent's just destroyed by an opponent's card by battle or card effect, you can summon the respected ranger from the deck. So it's pretty good. It helps the deck float. And then 1 Apollosa, you would think since the deck just has the ability to smack out a bunch of monsters, you could make Apollosa, but I didn't make it once today, so yeah, so there's definitely some changes that you can definitely make. Like I said, you don't need Dweller, so you could probably play 1 Zeus. You could definitely play Nightmare Unicorn. There's just room for improvement. So anyway, yeah, that is it for the profile, guys. Please remember, if you guys have any comments or concerns, comment down below. And yeah, without further ado, just stay happy and stay safe. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.